Hello, my name is Cory Payne, and we're here today to discuss your GI Bill benefits for active duty, reservists, and National Guardsmen. To begin with, never let anyone tell you which benefit is the best for you. No one can tell you which benefit to elect. That choice is and has to be yours based on what you need to do. There has been quite a few times when someone has made a wrong choice based on what a school or someone else has told them to do, and they've actually lost monetary benefits by making that choice because they didn't have the correct information. So what we're going to do today is to ensure that you have at least a base knowledge on how to elect a benefit that is going to be best for you. The GI Bills are there for you to utilize while you go to college or through on-the-job training or with an apprenticeship program. But each program or college that you go to has to be approved by the state approving agency for the state in which you reside. If it's not approved, you cannot utilize your GI Bill benefits to attend. So please remember that. It has to be approved. The first benefit that we're going to be discussing is the post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, the post 9/11 GI Bill, it has a lot of good benefits attached to it. Number one, it can pay up to full tuition and fees for an approved institution. Number two, it can pay up to $1,000 for books that you need to go to school with. Number three, it pays the BAH rate for an E5 with dependents for the zip code of the school in which you are attending. Now, having said that, you have to remember that the post 9/11 GI Bill for both active duty and for veterans are based on length of service. And what I mean by length of service is literally how much time you have on active duty. For active duty military, that's Title 10. For Guard and Reserve, it could be active duty based on Title 10 or Title 32 active duty orders. Now, if you serve 36 months of aggregate active duty, you can receive 100% of this benefit. But now, if you only have 12 months on active duty, whether you are on active duty right now, 12 months into your contract, or you are a reservist or a National Guardsman that has deployed for only 12 months, then you're only going to be authorized 60% of the benefit. Now, what you would need to do is, number one, go to the BAH calculator that you can find online. You can type that into any search engine that you elect to use. You would type in the zip code for the school you wish to attend. Using the drop-down menu, you would click on E5, and there will be two amounts of money that will come up. One will say E5 without dependents, one will say E5 with dependents. The with dependent is the listing that you want to look at. Now, say it's $1,000 for the area in which you're going to school. You would only get 60% of that $1,000 if you only have 12 months of active duty. So $600 is all you would receive each month. Now, here's the bad thing for those of you who are on active duty and actually serving in active federal service underneath a 3 to 4 or 6 year contract. You cannot draw this BAH. That is only reserved for those persons who are no longer on active duty, whether it be in the reserves or the National Guard, or a veteran who has successfully completed the term on his contract or her contract. So you can automatically take that amount of money away if you're on active duty. The other thing that it will provide for you, as we said before, is payment of tuition and fees. Again, you have to have 36 months to actually receive the 100% payment for that. If you have, like we said before, 12 months, whether it be full-time active service or 12-month deployment within the Guard and Reserves, you're only going to get 60%. Now here's the kicker. VA is now what is called the final payer. What that means is any other entity that you have other than federal financial aid that pays your tuition and fees, the VA will only pay what is remaining. So let's say you're on active duty and you go to a school that has an exorbitant tuition costs. We'll say $500 per credit hour. And you're going to take one course that is 3 credit hours long. Your total tuition obviously is going to be $1,500. Now your federal tuition assistance is only going to pay $250 per credit hour. So there's $750. You still have $750 remaining to pay. Now the VA can pick that up, but they'll only pick up 100% of it if you've already done the 36 months. If you've only done the 12 months and you're getting 60%, then literally they're only going to be paying roughly $400, and you're coming out of pocket for that one class an additional $350. This is why you need to ensure that you are electing the best benefit for you. Allow me one more time to give you an example of the percentage rule. If a service member has 12 months of active duty, they have the 50%. If tuition is $2,000, the VA pays only $1,000. You will only receive a maximum of $500 for your books. Your out-of-pocket expense for the tuition still remains at $1,000. The Yellow Ribbon Program is also part of the post 9/11 GI Bill. It's designed to ensure that any student who wishes to go to school outside of their home of record and is charged an out-of-state tuition can still get that tuition fully paid for by this benefit. Now, unfortunately, for active duty, you cannot utilize the Yellow Ribbon Program. The Yellow Ribbon Program is designed for veterans. And what happens is, once the tuition and fees are billed and the in-state tuition is paid for, the Yellow Ribbon then pays half of the remaining amount that is the difference between out-of-state and in-state tuition, and the school then waives the other half. So in essence, you're still getting your full tuition paid for. And in West Virginia, the governor has signed into law that every state institution will participate in the Yellow Ribbon Program, which means that you will be fully covered regardless of what school that you will attend if you are an out-of-state student. But again, let me reiterate, active duty students do not utilize the Yellow Ribbon Program. The next benefit we're going to be discussing is the Chapter 30 Montgomery GI Bill. For active duty students, it is utilized in the form of TopUp. TopUp is a program that actually pays the difference between what federal tuition assistance pays and what is remaining left owed to the school. So the TopUp program is outstanding. It's a way to minimize the amount of benefit that you utilize when it comes down to your education benefits. And also the Chapter 30, if you have 5 months on active duty and you've elected to pay into this program and receive the Montgomery GI Bill, the original Montgomery GI Bill, then you can utilize TopUp at the 100% rate. It is not like the post 9/11 that's based on how much time in service that you do have. Once you are approved for the Chapter 30 benefit, it will pay in full regardless of how many months you have in service. Now, upon exit from service, those people who qualify for the Chapter 30 Montgomery GI Bill can receive up to $1,473 a month for each month that they are certified for and taking classes. Now, if you decide to only go half-time, you just divide that amount in half, $786.50. Once you are approved for this benefit, here is the best thing about it. Once you exhaust all 36 months of the original Montgomery GI Bill, you actually qualify for 12 additional months of the post 9/11 GI Bill, which gives you a 48-month total benefit eligibility. But here's the problem. Let's say that you're on active duty and you need to utilize the TopUp program to cover what federal tuition assistance didn't. Now you're approved for the Montgomery GI Bill at 36 months. Now, for every $1,473 you utilize in TopUp, it subtracts 1 month of benefits. So if you utilize 12 months of your Chapter 30 Montgomery GI Bill through the TopUp program while you're on active duty, and then you get out of the service and you want to go to the post 9/11 GI Bill because you now qualify at the 100% rate, you will only get 24 months of the post 9/11 because the law states that you must give up a GI Bill to get the post 9/11 GI Bill. So dependent upon which school you go to, it may be best to go ahead and exhaust the remaining time left on your Montgomery GI Bill and then pick up the 12 additional months of the post 9/11. And there are many ways, once you get out of service and you are actually a full-time student, to ensure that your tuition is paid for and that this benefits keeps going to ensure that you graduate with the degree you need to become employable. So please be very careful when doing the application process and understand that you are giving up one to get another, because it could sacrifice a year's worth of benefits. And that's completely up to you whether or not you want to do it. Now, for those people not going on active duty but going straight into the reserves or National Guard, you are going to be utilizing a benefit called Chapter 1606, the Montgomery GI Bill Selected Reserve. The Selected Reserve GI Bill pays up to $345 a month for a full-time student. Now, it can be increased if you qualify for the GI Bill kicker. And the kicker can be anywhere between $100 and $350 depending upon your MOS and the scores that you had on your ASVAB, and if it's inside your contract that you're authorized this kicker. Now, this is just a basic benefit that is meant to actually give you a little bit of money to help you out. You are not going to receive enough money through this GI Bill to pay tuition, to pay fees, or anything like that. So you need to look at this as though it's basically like a car payment. It's going to ensure that you at least have a bill paid and, food available. But it's not going to be enough to pay. Now, to get this benefit, though, you have to get from your unit a form called a NOBI. This is a Notice of Basic Eligibility. This NOBI tells the Department of Veterans Affairs that you are authorized the benefit. Without the NOBI, submitting the application does no good. The NOBI is what tells the VA that you are approved. The next benefit that reservists are authorized if you deploy is called Chapter 1607, the Reserve Education Assistance Program. And again, let me reiterate, it's for National Guard and reservists who have deployed. Now, this benefit can give you different monetary values based on the length of your deployment. And sometimes it's better to use the Chapter 1607 coupled with your federal tuition assistance than actually dropping everything and going with the post 9/11 GI Bill. Because if you're going to a school that is underneath the $250 per credit hour amount for federal tuition assistance, number one, you know your tuition's paid for. And number two, for those of you who have deployed a year, you're going to get $800 and change going to a school where the BAH rate is $1,000 versus getting $600 for that post 9/11 GI Bill BAH amount. So ensure that you look totally at it and that you elect the best benefit for you, because you need to ensure that you're maximizing your education benefits and you're not limiting yourself to a smaller amount of money when you could be making more to actually cover your bills, your tuition, your books, and everything that you need while going to school. Now, what's going to happen now is I'm going to show you the payment scale for Chapter 1607, because it differs based on the length of time that you have been deployed for. You will see that if you've deployed for more than 90 days but less than a year, for a full-time student you get $589.20. If you've done consecutive service of 1 year, you get $883.80. If you've done consecutive service or 2 years or more, it's $1,178.40. Now, utilizing that, the average guardsman and reservist has deployed for a year. So you see, $883.80. Please ensure that you compare it to what you would be getting from the post 9/11 based on the zip code of the school. I cannot stress this enough, because there are occasions where this benefit is better. And if this is the first time you're using this benefit, just like with the Chapter 30 Montgomery GI Bill, you exhaust 36 months of this one, and then you get 12 more months of the post 9/11. So maximize it. There's 48 months available to you. If this one's better, exhaust it, then get your 12 months of additional benefits under the post 9/11 GI Bill. But remember, you have to exhaust it in full. I've actually had students come in who have switched with 4 months remaining, thinking that they're going to get the 12 additional months, but what they've done is they've applied early, and now they only have 4 months of the post 9/11 GI Bill. You have to exhaust the benefit in full before you apply. Now, what we're going to do is do a rough comparison of Chapter 1607 versus the post 9/11 GI Bill for someone who has deployed for 12 months only. Now, if you look, you will see Chapter 1607 for a 12-month deployment, $883.80 times a 4-month standard college term gives you $3,535.20. Then you have your tuition assistance. Let's say the cost per credit hour is $124.75, and you are a full-time student taking 12 hours. That gives you $1,497 for a total amount received for the entire term of $5,032.20. Now, for Chapter 33, with only 12 months of active duty, The BAH for the school or for the zip code in which we are residing right now is $915 a month. Times the 60% gives you $549 a month in the BAH rate times the same 4 months for the standard term. That gives you $2,196. And then you add 12 hours times $41.74, which is how much the VA will pay you for your books, times that same 60%, because you don't get the $1,000, you only get 60% of it. And that's going to actually come out to a total of $2,496.52 that you would receive when you combine the amount for the books and the total amount for the 4 months of BAH. Now, the benefit will only pay what federal tuition assistance does not cover. But in this case, if you are a reservist, you still get federal tuition assistance. If you're a National Guardsman, you get your state tuition assistance. The state guarantees they're going to pay it in full. Federal tuition assistance pays more than what it costs per credit hour. So you are going to get $1,497 from federal tuition assistance to cover your tuition, and that total amount for the term actually comes out to $3,993.52 in total benefit received. And as you can see, that's literally a $1,040 difference in between the two benefit packages. So again, please ensure that you make the best election for the benefits that you receive. Now, tuition assistance. Each branch of service has a standard tuition assistance package, and as of now, for each branch of service, it's $250 per credit hour. So if you take 6 credit hours at a school that charges $125 per credit hour, TA will pay $750. That's going to leave you with $3,050 for the fiscal year to actually utilize to keep continuing taking classes. And that's just a half-time student. Full-time student, if it's $200 per credit hour, that's $2,400 that you would be charged to go 12 hours. And you would still have monies remaining to continue to go to school for the next term, because you receive up to $4,500 annually, and that's all you get. But it renews itself every year. And as of today, the amount stays at $250 per credit hour. Recently, there was a message that came out from the Marine Corps stating that the Department of Defense was lowering this tuition assistance amount to $175 per credit hour. That was retracted rather quickly. But having seen it come out, this is something that you should expect. Expect it to be lowered $175 per credit hour sometime in the future, which means please be careful at what type of school that you're going to. Ensure that your tuition assistance covers the amount that you need to pay per credit hour to that school. Again, let me state, it's $250 per credit hour right now, but there was a message that came out that has been retracted, which reduced it to $175 per credit hour. So please keep that in the back of your mind always. Now, the steps to actually using federal tuition assistance successfully: number 1, apply to the school and submit all required information for admissions 90 days prior to the beginning of the term. Continually check with the school's Office of Admissions on the progress of your application and documentation. Once admitted, schedule an appointment with the school's advising center, either by phone if doing online courses or in person if taking traditional coursework. Ensure that you have your class schedule, cost information, degree plan, and school information prior to the 30-day mark. Also ensure that you have completed your commander's approval letter and all necessary training on your branch of services tuition assistance website to ensure that everything is completed. Ensure you speak to your unit education officer and/or the post-based education center to obtain this information or any other additional information prior to beginning your education process. Do not go into this not knowing what to do. Sometimes the tuition assistance process is very convoluted. When you first start, you actually need help navigating yourself through that first semester. This is why you need to start 90 days before the beginning of the term. You need to ensure that you have your tuition assistance submitted 30 days before the beginning of the term. So that gives you 60 days to get the documentation necessary for the submittal for your tuition assistance. That should be plenty of time. Be proactive. If you are proactive, then you will be successful in getting this done. Now, once you have submitted all required documentation to your branch of service for approval, you must ensure that the approval for it goes to your school's business service office to be applied to your tuition and fees. You can't just sit back and think that the school is going to be notified by your branch of service that your TA is going to be approved. It doesn't happen that way. It's an individual responsibility to inform the school once the TA is approved. And if everything is done correctly, when you submit on that 30-day mark, usually you have an approval within 7 to 10 working days, which still gives you another 2 weeks to get that approval to the school's business office so that number one, you're not dropped from classes, and number two, that you are not receiving indebtedness letters or bills in the mail from the school because nothing has been applied to your account. Ensure, if you paid in advance for your tuition and you're utilizing federal tuition assistance to reimburse you, that you inquire about the school's reimbursement policy so that you can be comfortable concerning the timetable in which you will receive your refund. Lastly, each branch of service requires that you submit your grades at the end of each term. If you fail to do this, you will not be approved for the additional TA for the following terms. Grades have to be submitted. If you fail courses, you are required to pay back the TA that was sent to the school out of pocket. The school is not going to send the money back that they were given if it's past the reimbursement period. That school keeps that tuition assistance. You failed the class. Now it's your responsibility to make good with the federal tuition assistance program. You have to reimburse the monies. If your GPA drops below 2.0, you will no longer be authorized tuition assistance until your grade point average is increased to the appropriate level, which is above 2.0. The majority of institutions in their programs have a graduation requirement of 2.5 GPA and above. So please, if you're taking courses, do the right thing. Study, do your homework, because literally you've got somebody else paying this benefit for you to be able to go to school, and it's the right thing to do. Now lastly, the military has set you up for success within your educational pursuits, but the drive and determination to do so rests solely with you. Remember to stay ahead of your peers in promotion contention or to prepare for life after the military. Education is the key.
It is the key to ensure that you will always be able to provide for yourself and your family. Take advantage of the opportunity. Approach it with a can-do attitude and seek help when needed, and you will succeed. And if you have any questions concerning this course, please feel free to email me at payne78@mctc.edu. I will answer any questions that you have. In the email, please include your full name, your telephone number, and your return email address at the bottom. And we will continue to converse to ensure that you receive all information needed to make your educational pursuits a success. Thank you.